Okay, so hello everyone and welcome back to your own tutor YouTube channel. Today's topic is actually really important and I want you guys to pay your maximum attention towards it. It's about the IELTS exam and it is about the writing task 2. So basically if you're taking the general IELTS exam, general training 1, you will get a different writing task 1 in which you have to actually write a letter of some sort, but in the academic one you might get a chart or a graph and you need to explain the changes. It is more like a bit more challenging than the task 1 of the general training IELTS, but the task 2 is going to be the same, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss a writing task 2 that I've taken out for you guys. Basically, what I do is that people send me their essays. This is a paid service that I provide on Fiverr. And if you guys are interested for it, you could actually contact me on Fiverr for that. I'll leave the link below in the description. But let me just show you guys what I do. And so people send me in their essays and their task 2 essays. For example, this guy here sent me this and I have taken the permission from him to actually demonstrate to you guys what this is about. Okay, so some people believe that the experiences children have before they go to school will have the greatest effect on their future life. Now, what I want you to do here is that just take a pause and think about what the topic is saying. At least read the prompt 2 or 3 times just to make a good sense of it and try to translate it into your native language if that's possible. So some people believe that the experiences children have before they go to school. So before they go to school means generally before they are 5 years old or 6 years old. So before that would be 0 to 5 years. And what sort of experiences do children have? These are going to have the greatest effect on their future life. Now, others argue that experiences gained when they are teenagers have a bigger influence. Now, there are two opposing opinions, as you might see. But always read the prompt fully. Do not just stop here, okay? Discuss both views and give your own opinion. So, in this essay, it's not asking you about taking one side or the other, but it is asking you to discuss both views and give your own opinions. Now, here, this person actually wrote that when children have, let's just not read this first. Let me just tell you guys what you need to do. At first, you will need to take a pencil and a paper and just ignore this part, okay? Just consider this part is not there. Let me just take it out. Okay, and now this is how you're going to see the prompt in your exam. Some people believe that the experience that children have before they go to school will have the greatest effect on their future life. Okay, so for example, you need to take 2 examples of this, 2 or 3 examples of this, and then you need to give your opinions on that. So let's see in this essay. First, we are going to start off, always we are going to start off with the introduction. Now, how should the introduction be structured? Now, if you watch the E2 IELTS with Jay, I actually follow his structure and this is where I've learned from. This is the structure that he follows and I've broken it down for you guys. Okay, so introduction is, it should have 3 to 4 sentences. Now, just ignore this part for now and focus on this. It should have 3 to 4 sentences. The first one should be a general statement about the topic. Now, what is a general statement? It is just this prompt. Some people believe it's from here till here. So the topic, what exactly is the topic? Topic is that what has the greatest effect on the future life of a child? The experiences that they have in their when they are children or when they are teenagers. So this is your exact topic. First, you need to find out the topic. Okay, so you write topic. Now, if the topic is this, then can you come up with a general statement about the topic? What would be a general statement? Something like, let me come up with a statement here. Experiences play an important role in shaping lives of the individual. Now, this is just a general statement. It's not discussing this view or this view. We're not talking about experiences of children, or we're talking about experiences of the teenagers. What we are saying is that experiences generally play an important role in shaping the lives of an individual, or of people, the future life of people, experiences they have. Okay, so this is just an example. Um, so first sentence would be your general statement, and then you need to paraphrase the prompt. That is your topic sentence. Okay, so then you need to paraphrase it. You need to give this information in your own words in the sentence. I'll demonstrate to you because I've written it like how I would have written it in the exam. So this is my essay. I'll go through this in a while. Okay. So others argue that experiences gained when they are teenagers have a bigger influence. So we come here and we paraphrase. The first statement would be a general statement of the topic. Second would be paraphrased prompt topic. And then your opinion on the topic, because it's asking you about all of the three. So general statement, the paraphrase of this, and then your own opinion. This is what will constitute your introduction. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Now, if we read this essay that was sent to me by one of our readers or subscribers, they say when children have reached their teenage phase, they will face more challenges from different aspects of life. Now, this is a general sentence, but it is not really about experiences. And I think the general statement should actually hit the word experiences, because here you can see that it is all about experiences. All right, this topic is all about experiences, what a person goes through. Now, whether they are a child or a teenager, that's the difference between these two topics. But some people assume that they should give a ton of experiences before these kids start going to school. In my opinion, experiences gained during one's teenage has the greatest influence. Now, this has got a lot of grammatical mistakes. I've actually highlighted the mistakes, and I would have corrected the mistakes here. I have tried to do those in the bracket, but this would not have been very clear. So just to give this, give an idea to this writer, I actually wrote down this introduction in my essay. Okay, so here, as you can see, that experiences from here, experiences play a pivotal role in shaping the lives of people. Okay, so we're talking about experiences. Now, this is the general sentence. Now, coming on to the second sentence is paraphrasing. Some people suggest when children have reached their teenage phase, they will face more challenges from different aspects of life, whereas others assume that experiences gained before the kids start going to school play. Now, here subject verb agreement would be play, because this S would not come here. I made a mistake and I'm correcting it now. Okay, whereas others assume that experiences, now this is experiences, that's why it will be play. Subject verb agreement, this is an example of it. I will go through it in a, I'll actually, I'm intending to do a small grammatical crash course for IELTS, so that you can actually jog your memories about sentences. We actually studied these sentences when we were very young, and right now I think we need to jog our memory a bit, and that's how I'm planning to take I'm planning to make a video on that. But for now, so this is paraphrasing what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the same prompt. It's talking about teenage experiences, and it's talking about experiences gained before the kids start going to school. That means they are, what is the prompt saying? Before they go to school will have the greatest effect on their future. Okay, now what is my opinion? My opinion would be, in my opinion, experiences gained during the teenage years have a defining impact on the lives of children. Now, this is just my opinion, okay? I agree with the latter part of the prompt. Okay, so this is how, in my opinion, an introduction should be. Now, you can actually modify it to make it error-free. You can modify it to insert better words and better language, but I think this is the kind of flow that they are looking for. And I actually used a very similar structure when I scored 7.5 in my writing exam, and I had actually taken the academic IELTS. And this is the same structure that IELTS E2 IELTS with J follows. And I have actually, again, I'm reiterating because it is originally his structure that I'm following. But this is just to give you a practical demonstration of how it is actually done. Okay. Now coming on to the second paragraph. Second paragraph would be about one of these two experiences, two examples or three examples that would justify one stance, this one or this one. So let's see if it is there. First, let's read this one. It is duty of a parent to get their children to have plenty of experiences, both good and bad, before they can learn with other children. For an instance, a child can learn to behave properly in the house so that it is easier to attend classes without distracting other children and to have a better. Now, this paragraph actually, it seems like that the prompt has not been really understood well. Okay, apart from the grammatical errors, there are actually structural errors in the essay. And this paragraph is really short, and I don't think the word count would meet the total. Let's just see. I think it would meet, otherwise, yeah, 292 to 250 words are actually required. So I don't think you will be able to count the word unless you're taking the computer-based IELTS, but since I took the paper-based one, I had to manually count the words, but I just got an idea that I write 250 words. I think that's what is the limit, the minimum limit that you need to write. You need to confirm that as well. So this is not how I would have written this second paragraph. So coming towards the second paragraph or the first body paragraph after the introduction, this is how the structure of the body paragraph should be. Let me just put it on one page so it's easier for you to understand. Here you can see the first would be the thesis statement that tells what the paragraph is about. Then two strong reasons that would support your point and follow the reasons with examples. Conclude the paragraph with an overview of the position the paragraph takes. Now, this is really the key structure that you need to follow for your writing task too. And it's really easy. It's not that difficult. If you follow this structure, you are not going to panic in the exam because you're going to have a sort of a template in your mind that what you need to go through. You can mold any kind of topic into this structure and you will do well. For example, it is asking about benefits of something. You could come up with two body paragraphs about 4 benefits, for example. If they're asking you about advantages and disadvantages, you could come up with 2 advantages in the first body paragraph and disadvantages in the second body paragraph, and then give your opinion. And that's how all these essays are structured in the IELTS exam. And this is exactly the part which actually makes or breaks your score in the IELTS exam in the writing section. Because people do not follow a proper structure, they end up getting low marks, and even though their English is really good, they're trying for immigration or study permit or whatever, they're trying to go abroad, but they need good IELTS score. They do really well in the other sections, but in the writing part, they struggle. They hardly reach 6.5 or maybe 7 if they're like really good at writing. But then when they do not follow the structure, they end up losing marks. And this is a proven structure that has worked really well for me. That's why I'm actually teaching you this. Okay, so the first body paragraph, let's see how I have written it. The thesis statement, first one, 2 reasons. Let's see if we follow the structure. Children go through various experiences at home, and these also play a role in laying down the foundations of their behavior. Okay, so this would be my thesis statement. I'm saying that children, when they go through experiences, various experiences, it lays down the foundations of their behavior. Now, I need to support this point with 2 strong reasons. For example, before attending school, children go through different situations at home because of their parents and siblings. It is the duty of a parent to provide there will be with provide with the right experience before they are exposed to learning with other children at school. Now, what I've done is that I've taken a similar example that was used here, but I have actually phrased it to be relevant to the essay. I've tried my best, but I think the example could have been a lot better. Okay, so before attending school, children can go through different situations at home because of their parents and siblings. Yeah, of course, they have an impact. It is the duty of a parent to provide with the right experience before they are exposed to learning with other children at school. For instance, a child can learn. Now I'm supporting these two. These are two basically strong reasons. First one was that the experiences because the parents and siblings. The other one was that it is the duty of a parent to provide um, uh, good experiences so that, or the right experiences so that the child is able to cope up with the other children at school. So these are two strong experiences. For instance, a child can learn to behave properly in the school so that it is easier to attend classes without distracting other children and to have a better elementary school experience. Now, even though the prompt is asking about their future life, we're actually talking about immediate future, when I think this could have been better phrased and better written if I would have actually taken an example of a future life. For example, here, when we are saying that children go through different situations at home and parents and with their parents and siblings, they demonstrate this kind of behavior. If they're not going, if their experiences have been bad, they actually demonstrate this kind of behavior when they get married and later in life. So this would have been a better example to prove it. Now, this one might hardly fetch me 7 score, but this is enough to give you an idea that how to go about the second paragraph. The first sentence is my thesis sentence. There it does lay down the foundation of the behavior. Okay, so I'm giving two reasons. One is that the parents and siblings at home make a child go through various experiences, number one, and it is the duty of a parent to provide with the experience so that the child can cope with other children at school. And then I need to support it with an example. Now, this could be a made up example or a real world example. It could be a study as well that you can cite, but it doesn't have to be real, but it's just good to like cite that. Then this will also give them a head start on learning during their teenage years at school. Now, this is my opinion, or this just concludes the first paragraph with an overview of the position that paragraph takes. Now, this could have been written better, but I think this just gives you a good idea about how to go about this kind of essay. Now, coming towards the second body paragraph, that is your thesis statement. Again, the same structure will follow: two strong reasons, examples, concluding sentence. Let's see what this guy has written here. However, when it comes to have a tremendous influence or effect on their future life, the variety of experiences and learning from a person teenage would be the most ideal, because it is at this phase of life one can choose their path to lead a better life. Okay, so now this person is actually giving out their opinion that they support this position more. That's why they have chosen the second paragraph to be longer. That's what my logic suggests. But still, it has got many grammatical errors, and the example is being followed. Even though they are following the structure, but still, it could have been a lot better. So here is how I would have written it. However, when it comes to having the greatest influence or effect on the future life, comma, the variety of experiences and learning from a person's teenage years. There should be the years should be here. Teenage years would be most ideal, as during that phase of life, one can choose their or his or her path to lead a better life. Now, I've deliberately chosen a long sentence here. This actually becomes a complex structure, and this gives the examiner an idea that you know how to use long structures without actually making too many grammatical errors. But in the longer sentences, you do tend to make a few minor errors, but those can be ignored by the checker. All right. So when it comes to having, now this actually doesn't have a proper structure that I was talking about. The thesis statement is not there. So it's just what I've done is that I've actually rephrased his or her essay here, and I've tried to give them an idea that how to go about it. But a proper structure would be, we will actually go through many task 2 essays. That's what I plan to do in this series, because this would teach you really well. I think the best way to learn a task 2 essay is that by going through several essays together and following this structure. I think you can really improve your language, and you can really improve how you write your essays. And by following this structure, you will have a kind of a template embedded in your minds, so that you, when you next time appear in the exam, you're well prepared, and you know how to take on this exam. All right. So first would here would be a thesis statement in place of this, and then there will be two strong reasons why I support this stance. Okay. For example, this actually can be counted as a thesis statement here. When it comes to having the greatest influence or effect on the future life, the variety of experience and learning from a person's teenage would be most ideal, as during that phase of phase of life, one can choose their path to lead a better life. For example, during high school time, a person is able to choose their type of studies or the types of studies to move forward with, and they can better evaluate what they would like to do in the future based on all the experiences gained in their education. Now you see, these are long sentences with complex structures, but I have tried to like use comma and a proper, this actually long sentences give you a kind of a flow in your language, and that's what I have noticed in the native English speaking countries. When the writers write, native writers actually use very long sentences just to give that proper flow, but without making too many grammatical errors. That's what your focus should be as well. They can also learn a variety of skills like learning to drive a car, learning to cook. So these are the examples. For example, they learn in their teenage years, driving a car, learning to cook, which would greatly help them in the future. All these experiences have a lasting impact on the rest of their lives. Now, these examples could have been a lot better. I agree with that. And phrasing could have been better as well. All right. But this is just to give you an idea of the structure. And I think this serves the purpose really well. So now coming towards the conclusion. Okay. And you need to practice about practice writing this entire thing within 35 minutes, and you need to practice a lot for that, because in the exam, when it's real pressure, you actually tend to not do so well under pressure. Okay, so practice will make you perfect. Here is the conclusion part. Paraphrase the prompt. First thing that you need to do in the conclusion is to paraphrase the topic again, but make sure the paraphrasing is not the same as you did in the introduction. Okay, after the general statement, we had actually paraphrased this topic here. So make sure that you do not do this with the same words. You need to like paraphrase it again in different words. Okay, so you need to paraphrase the topic sentence or the essay prompt 2 times. One in the second in the second sentence of your introduction, you need to paraphrase the topic, and then in the first sentence of the conclusion, you need to paraphrase the topic. Let's see what we've done here. To conclude, the teenage experiences are the most impactful ones for a person's future. Although it's also important to teach a child to cope with school life before they attend one. However, in my opinion, I believe the experiences during the teenage years are crucial and have the greatest effect on children, but not the children. Okay, so what we did in the conclusion was that paraphrase the prompt and then reinforce your position. So whichever position or opinion you have, you need to mention that. You could do that in one sentence, both of these like I've done, but you could actually do 2 or 3 different sentences, but make sure the conclusion is not very long. And it does now, I have actually written to conclude. There are some words that you can learn, sentences. For example, to to sum up the above. Now this gives the checker a hint that you're trying to conclude your essay. You can write to conclude, to sum up the above, or you can write to uh, what can we actually write? To conclude, to sum up. Uh, in the end, you can actually write in the end, then comma. Always use comma after to sum up the above, in the end, comma, all right, to conclude, comma. Now these are important commas that you need to use, and these would actually fetch you really good marks. These small details, I think you need to pay attention to them. All right, so you can use these and structure your task to essay like this. This would look like, see, it's even looking better if you like to do like this. All right, on a separate page, it would look really well. Okay, so it's structured really well. The introduction, short and sweet. Conclusion, short and sweet. 2 body paragraphs to justify the topic. Proper examples are there. So even the structure alone with decent English can actually fetch you 7 easily. But the struggle is for getting a 7.5 or even an 8 if you're really good at it. And I believe you can do that being a non-native speaker. I know it's difficult for people like us to score like 7.5 and above, but trust me, when an average guy like me can do it, I think and I believe that everybody out there can do it if they just follow this right guidance. And I hope this was helpful. We'll conclude this video here, and I'll come up with more such task 2 essays. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Do like, share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.